Hello and welcome, especially if you're catching it live or the replay. So I do usually do my live videos on Monday and I do a grocery haul, but last week I received a request from Stephanie, so hey Stephanie, if you're joining the replay, to show off a stir fry because I mentioned I've been doing stir fries quite a bit. So I figured I would just hop on here and just show you guys kind of right here live an example of a stir fry that I do. So tonight, let me show you what I got. So the fundamentals of a stir fry, I have already kind of put the meat in here because I don't want to have to wash my hands doing that. But the fundamentals of a stir fry is using some form of oil and then cooking on a medium. So we're gonna go ahead and turn this to medium and start cooking. So tonight for my protein, I have chosen a chopped up chicken breast. You can also use edamame, tofu, another type of meat, fish, tons of endless options there. But that's just what I have on hand tonight and what I'm choosing. Now I like to cook with tongs, it's just a personal preference, but you can use anything that you would like. And I'm just going to toss these in the oil that we have cooking on medium. Okay. So I'm actually going to throw just a little bit more oil in because we're going to add a couple things. So with my dinners, I like to make them very veggie centric. And then later we're going to talk about carbs too. So we have our protein already cooking, and then now let's talk about our fiber and our veggies. Got a lot going on here. I had some broccoli to use up, and some was from the CSA box, and then some was just from the grocery store. And then this bag of spinach is at a point where I'm probably not going to eat it for salads, but it works perfect to use up in stir fries. So the next thing I'm going to add is this spinach. And this is a lot, but it's going to cook down. So we're going to give it the opportunity to start doing that and just add it in straight away. So as you can see, the spinach is already starting to cook down. And we're just gonna start to get all of these ingredients incorporated. And eventually we'll be kind of leaving this a little bit more alone. But this is a super easy way to use up vegetables, as you can see, that are kind of on the edge. And honestly, just get dinner from the pan to your plate so quickly. It's like such a good, easy, quick weeknight meal. So let's flip it around. We're gonna add a little bit more of that spinach. I might save the other half for later this week. And then I'm gonna add in just a little bit more oil. And we're gonna start adding in some of our broccoli. So let me see if I can prop you for this, because I don't know if I can do this with one hand. We lost one. Okay, so as you can see, we've got all our veggies going. And if you're watching, pop in and say hi for sure. And if you have any questions, then let me know too. But we're just gonna go ahead and toss. This is already looking awesome. I think I tossed a couple broccoli over the side, but this is a very full pot right now. Thanks, Stephanie. Yeah, this is so easy right now. This is just oil and spinach and chicken and broccoli. So we're just cooking it up. Now, the next thing that I am going to add is a sauce, which actually I need a spoon for. So we're gonna grab that first. Let's just grab one of these. And then, so this is one that I already had made up. It's just a tomato paste base. It has curry powder, cumin, coriander, ginger, I think kind of a mix of spices in there, lemon juice as well. And so I'm going to heat this up, and this is going to be our sauce that we'll pour on afterwards, but I'm going to add just a little bit of it to the stir fry that is already cooking as well. Making a mess. This is more complicated than it looks doing it one-handed. Yeah, I'm just gonna add just a little bit to get some flavor going. I like to add just a little bit of soy sauce sometimes, like a low sodium soy sauce if possible, just because they can be pretty high in salt. But you also are gonna do like a pretty veggie heavy dinner, so it can be okay too. Teriyaki sauce can be good sometimes, or just like your favorite spices, so salt and pepper. I love to do like chili powder sometimes, kind of just whatever spices you normally like. So I'm going to set this aside, and like I said, I'm going to heat up that sauce then later to serve actually on top of this when we eat it. So let's just go ahead and toss that a little bit to incorporate some of those spices. Okay, and as the vegetables start to cook down, they'll release some of that water from the cells, and so you will, it'll stop like sticking to the bottom of the pan quite as much. But if you do feel like it is sticking at any point, then make sure you add a little bit more oil so that you're not fighting it so much and having your pan ruin. So the other good part of cooking a stir fry, if you're cooking in a wok, you can also just do this in a pan, but like a skillet. But because you're using kind of this dome lid, the water basically is going, when it's evaporating the steam, it's going to still like drip back down into the food, so it keeps everything a little bit more moist. So I like to kind of work everything in and get the lid on it as soon as possible, but I'm still going to come back and like check it every so often. So it looks really brilliant now, and it's going to look a little bit more cooked down in a bit. So like I said, I'm going to throw this sauce on. The other thing that I'm going to add is rice, just for a carbohydrate source. So there's tons of other things you can do for carbohydrate sources. You could have a side of like a whole wheat bread. You could do like rice, like we said. You could do like a fruit, just kind of any of your favorite carbohydrates, because as it stands right now, this meal is going to have, you know, our good protein source and then a good like vegetable and fiber option, but we don't really have that carbohydrate to kind of round out the meal and sustain us. So we will want to add that. So I'm going to cook up some rice, but that's pretty much it for the stir fry today. If you do have any questions, make sure you comment down below and leave them. But I like to do this with just like tons of different vegetables. That's the fun thing about stir fries, is they're very customizable, very easy to do, and very like throw everything that you have in your fridge into it and just cook it up. So yeah, let me know if you do stir fries. Let me know what your favorite protein is, what your favorite vegetables are to use, and any other ingredients that you like. Some other fun things are like sesame seeds. You can add in like nuts and seeds are really fun to add in, and that can be a good protein source as well, like some good fats too. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you later. I'm going to be putting up a video later tonight with the winners from my giveaway. Oh, good question, Stephanie. Could you use frozen veggies? Yes, you can definitely use frozen vegetables. You do have to watch them, maybe not cook them. So I'm going to cook this for quite a while because the broccoli is still fairly firm, and it's going to take a little bit longer to cook down. But if I was working with frozen broccoli, it would have that tendency to get a little bit more like soggy faster sometimes. So you just kind of have to watch your cooking time with frozen vegetables, but you can totally use frozen vegetables. Just kind of play around with it and see which ones work well with the mixes that you're doing. So cool, very, very good question. So thank you guys for joining. Like I said, I'm going to be posting the giveaway winners later tonight from my RX bars giveaway. So if you want to sneak in some last entries, then just find my last video, I believe, or 2 videos ago, where it's the RX bar giveaway video, and you can sneak in some entries to win 5 free RX bars, or even more if you get drawn more times than once. But that video is coming out later today. So thank you guys so much for joining, everybody who's catching it, and thank you everybody who's joining the replay, and I will see you in my next video.